Welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Legacy at the request of Patreon subscriber Harain. But before we talk about the deck, I have a very exciting announcement to make. You may have gotten a little teaser if you watched the intro from start to finish. If you just skipped to the deck tech, I have some exciting news. The official BoshNRoll shirt from Coalesce Apparel is available for pre-order right now at coalesceapparel.shop. It will release sometime in early December, just in time for the holidays. You and the BoshNRoll fans in your life, make sure to pre-order these. I know some other creators who have gotten shirts made. They sell out quick. It takes a while to get new ones. If you want one of these, please get the pre-order in. I'm very excited about this. We worked hard on this over many months. I cooked up this concept probably a year ago or more, and Ray over at Coalesce really brought the design together, brought it to real life, made it readable on a shirt. I'm kind of obsessed with this, and I hope you are too. Head on over to coalesceapparel.shop, use code BoshNRoll to get 10% off the order, and make sure to get those pre-orders in. Excitement about the shirt aside, let's talk about the deck and what we're playing today. This is a deck that I've named Bant Greedy Beans. This is another 4-color pile. I played the 4-color Grixis deck on the channel a little while ago. Basically Grixis Delver with Questing Druid thrown in. Well, this is Bant Beanstalk with Questing Druid thrown in. Splashing into red gives you Seek the Beast, and it also makes Leyline Binding a castable magic card. Leyline Binding, obviously great with Up the Beanstalk. We don't have a Swamp in this deck, but I don't think you need it. If there was a spell that just read 1 and a white instant, exile target permanent, you would play it. Not even non-land permanent. You would play it. It doesn't have to cost 1 just because it can sometimes. This thing costing 2 is just fine, especially if it's drawing cards when you do it. Murktide Regent triggers the beans. White has the best removal in the format. Already mentioned Leyline Binding. We get Prismatic Ending and Swords to Plowshares as well. That's way better than Lightning Bolt. Black, it's kind of awkward because black is like the removal color in Magic these days, but in the olden times, nothing stacks up to Swords to Plowshares. You don't have to figure out your split of Fatal Pushes, Murderous Cuts, and Children's Edicts. You just get Swords to Plowshares and Leyline Binding if you go white here. And on top of the deck, the deck is just full of Forces, Lorien Revealeds, and cantrips. We're going to draw cards, we're going to stop our opponent from doing stuff, and then we're going to win. This list originally came from Matthew Vook, who is a known Legacy grinder, Ozymandias on MTGO. I'm actually cooking up something based on this for paper play. Unfortunately, Triumph of St. Catherine is still not on Magic Online, which is basically perfect for this Bant Beanstalk shell. I played a local last night at the time of recording this with a promising starting shell of a Triumph of St. Catherine Beanstalk deck. I haven't shared it publicly yet. I'm going to be playing it at SCG Pittsburgh. The Patreon has it. If you want to join the Patreon, in the Patreon Discord, it's there. But subscriber Harain has been playing this build that you can play on Magic Online. And I want to get some reps with it too. Even if this isn't apples to apples with the deck that I am planning on playing at SCG Pittsburgh, it's very close. The bones are the same, and I'm pretty excited about it. Let's jump into this. This is Bant Greedy Beans. I'm on the play in round number 1. I got this Island Ponder situation. I'm going to keep it. Lorien Revealed can find me red for Seek the Beast if the Ponder doesn't find anything. I got a hand that sees a lot of cards. Let's hope it's a matchup that gives me time to sculpt it. A Brainstorm, Leyline Binding, Questing Druid. I don't need another Brainstorm. Leyline Binding could be nice in the future. I'm deciding if I want Questing Druid or not, because I can cycle Lorien Revealed to see some new cards. I could take Leyline Binding. Yeah, I think I'm just going to take the Leyline Binding and the Questing Druid. And then I can Brainstorm plus Shuffle, then set up some turn 3 activity. Though I can't cast the Binding. If I get Volcanic Island for Questing Druid, I'll still need to find a Tundra somehow. I might chalk that up to a later problem and just enjoy the flow of cards that I have here. I am impressed that Matthew got a bunch of basics into this deck. 4-color mana base with one of each basic land. I understand the desire to have Leyline Binding not get totally punked by Wasteland, but also 4-color decks got to cast their spells. Pretty wild. I hope it works out. Opponent says, hello, Hollywood. I assume they mean YouTube. Everyone say hi to Kairos92, who is about to dumpster me with whatever this is. Literally whatever is going on is not beatable for me. What do we got? A Karn, a Mystic Forge, a One Ring. Just show it to me. Manifold Key. Okay, not even done making mana yet. Another Monolith, up to 6 mana. Oh, how I wish I had a Force of Will. Karn the Great Creator. It resolves, much to my misery. And this is exactly what I said when I kept the hand. It sees a lot of cards. Hope the opponent gives us time to see them. And it looks like they're just not going to do that. Grabbing the Liquid Metal Coating. They can Rashad and Port me, kind of, like turn off my island in the upkeep, which means that I'm going to cycle away. If they target here, I have to cycle Lorien Revealed, which loses the Leyline Binding, but I can't cast that card anyway. What are my actual outs here? I think seeking a beast is going to be important. Third Questing Druid. Oh yeah. Alrighty, now they can just start strip mining me, and they don't even need to get greedy with Karn. I'm good. I probably shouldn't have shown them red. Shouldn't have even shown them what I did. Okay, Lavinia's good. Meltdown seems solid. More Force of Negations get him in. Cards that seem bad are Swords to Plowshares and a Daze. If I'm willing to use it aggressively, if I had Dazed their Grim Monolith that turn, they just pass. This deck's mana hungry enough, and I'm on the play, and they're blue. I think I keep the Dazes. Prismatic Ending can hit important pieces. Lorien Revealed's blue. I'm looking at Questing Druid and up the Beanstalk, but I'm a little worried about undermining the core of the deck, the core card advantage engines of the deck. I think Leyline Binding is going to be good. Maybe Prismatic Ending I just have to accept as a side grade for Meltdown and call it a day there. Okay, here we go. Now we know what's going on. Okay, Force of Will and Meltdown in my opener. Keep it. Let's hope this Ponder delivers. I would love if this Ponder just gives me 2 lands. Opponent also kept 7. Okay, 1 land. But there's a Seek the Beast there as well. I'm not going to shuffle. Okay, we have a plan. I can Force of Will their first payoff, hopefully Meltdown all their setup, and then turn the corner and win somehow. I do want to point out that the basic lands in this deck come at the cost of Wasteland. The other 4-color greed deck, the Grixis base one, has 3 Wastelands in it still, despite being a 4-color deck, and this deck made room for all the basics, so you don't get Wasteland in there. I'm going to Seek a Beast in my end step. I know there's a Brainstorm on top. I hope the other card's a land. It is. Cool, cool, cool. Alright. Draw for turn. Tundra from Exile. I can play Questing Druid whenever, but I could also do it now, Brainstorm, and immediately... Yeah, I like that. Okay. Questing Druid now. Brainstorm. This Meltdown is going to clean up the Urza Saga, so I can let it ride on this for a minute. Daze I love. Leyline Binding I love in the future. Lorien Revealed's a later problem, and I can put the land on top. Land Lorien Revealed on top. Okay, cool. 2 free pieces of interaction, plus the hard answer for the thing they're currently threatening me with, and I have a threat on board into their Ancient Tomb. I like my position. I don't like that they have 7 cards in hand. Construct as a 1/1. Construct as a 2/2. Putting mana into constructs here is great for me. That's mana they don't have to outmuscle my Daze if they do try to make some big move here. Manifold Key. That dies to Meltdown. Crystal Vein. I will not Daze a Grim Monolith here. I think with the Force of Will... Okay, it looks like they're not even going for it. But I'll finish that thought. With the Force of Will in my hand, I can bottleneck a big payoff at the top of the curve, and anything they contribute to that point, like any Grim Monoliths or whatever, will get swept up in my Meltdown. But I want them to invest as much as possible. The attack is interesting because if they're going to cast more artifacts this turn, the construct would get bigger, but if we got into a fight over artifacts on their turn, my Questing Druid would be bigger. And it looks like that was just a cautious little attack that I have a lot of respect for, but I am still going to melt you down. The meltdown goes red, green. X equals 1. Take that manifold key with me here. There is a Mystic Sanctuary in this deck, despite the multiple lands that are not islands. But like I said, this list has basics instead of wastelands. Wastelands aren't islands either, so the island count is probably right where it's supposed to be for Mystic Sanctuary. You just have to be aware when you're fetching that if you get the plains or the forest, it's going to slow down your meltdowns or your sanctuaries, which in this case is more meltdowns. Or Monolith resolves. They still have 7 cards in hand. All of that, everything they've done so far this game just came out of Urza Saga. They haven't actually played a spell until now. Force plus days to keep me alive. Meltdown to rebuild. I do have to be careful with the days, because if I pick up an island before I get the sanctuary, I don't have meltdown anymore. I could also fetch and then hardcast days, but if I alt-cast days, then I'm also representing Leyline Binding. Though that's not true, because if I pick up an island... Alright, yeah. Dazing... oh, well, I could just hardcast days on this. And I don't think I need the meltdown. I think I'll still take it, though. I could also just brainstorm, and then daze this, and then Murktide Regent, and then kill them. Okay, I think I am gonna pick up the meltdown and hardcast days on this. Seems like the line that is most likely to elicit a concession. Hardcast days. Druid is a 4/4. There's the meltdown. What a surprise. Brainstorm grows the Druid. Bunch of lands. Don't need all these. Multiple Leyline Bindings. Don't think I need all those either. If I Murktide here, I get in for 6. I could even meltdown for 0, get in for 7. That doesn't sound good, though. If I meltdown and Leyline Bind. Alright. No, I'm getting crazy. Okay, Murktide Regent gives me a 6/6, and I'm going to attack with this. I still have Force Blue card and Leyline Binding available to me. And they're at 5 with Ancient Tomb as their mana source. Facing down 2 gigantic creatures. They'll take Key resolves. Mox Opal also resolves. I can bind their Monolith if they go to untap it, and then still have Force in the tank. I think I like this play. Fetch. Grab what? Is there a double color that matters to me here, other than blue? I don't think so. I guess green, I can like bean into another green thing. Okay, sure. And I hope the game's over and it doesn't matter. Alright, Leyline Binding, bringing balance to Legacy, as Wizards of the Coast promised. A Prismatic Ending is... It was the last card I cut going in. Is Daze as good on the draw? It's still blue for my 7 forces. Up the Beanstalk might be slow for such a high power matchup. If I get an ending back in here, I can fight over a key, or... I don't think this deck can play Chalice because it plays so many keys. Yeah, I'll bring 1 Prismatic Ending back in over 1 Bean. Just trying to dial it in, find the right balance here. No Force of Will, no meaningful interaction for an explosive turn. I can Meltdown on turn 2 for 1. I think that's too slow. I'm really interested in a Force. Lavinia, once again, a powerful thing for turn 2. Opponent's on 6. I'm going to 5. I play 7 forces. Alright, here we go. I have a hand with Force and Meltdown in it. Put back 1 of the forces, and if I put the land, I can cycle Lorien Reveal to replace it. If I pitch Lorien Reveal to Force, then I can't do that. I think I bottom the Misty Rainforest here, and I have Draw Step plus Ponder plus Cycle Lorien Reveal to either replace my blue card for Force or find a land. I think I'm okay with this, and I would like to hold on to the Meltdown. City of Traders. Grim Monolith. Manifold Key. I think forcing Key ends their turn there, but if they have a second key, they can still Karn. I guess they'd be 1 short. I don't know. I think I'd still rather fight over the payoff. Mox Opal. Karn with 1 card left in your hand. Force pitching. I think I pitched the Lorien Revealed. The guaranteed land versus the selection of other stuff. That's actually tricky. Alright, I'm pitching the Lorien Revealed. And come on, deck, just give me a land so I don't have to worry about this. Oh, Lavinia is really good. Ponder. The Nut Ponder is force and land. I drew a blue card. If I find a force for now and then a land for next turn, we're done. There's the force, but not the land. I have to shuffle this. Bummer. Shuffle. Found a Leyline Binding. Okay, we're in a little bit of trouble here. If they kept a hand with multiple payoffs, I am about to lose to one of them. They are certainly untapping their Grim Monolith. Paradox Engine is invested. Okay, I mean, that card is really powerful, obviously, but it doesn't do it on its own. And we drew the Tundra. Lavinia, get in there, girl. And I think leading on Lavinia is better than leading on Meltdown. That kills two things where they actually just can't do anything here. They only have one land. They can't even cast a Grim Monolith. Any zeros they cast on top of their stuff get countered, and anything they work up to just is not allowed to be cast. And even if they have a second land, it kills the City of Traders. Oh yeah, they just untap Grim Monolith and passed. That was the draw we needed. And now I can Meltdown for 3. For 3 mana, or X equals 2. Their permanents are Paradox Engine and City of Traders, and if I untap one more time, the Leyline Binding makes it so they don't even have the engine. I'm feeling good. They do have 9 turns to figure it out with this Lavinia attacking, but she is rough for their deck. Yeah, they're done. Okay. A little dicey there. Really disciplined mulligans. I didn't get fooled by the forceless hands that I saw first and second, which is good because they did have turn 1 card. And it might have been wrong to pitch the Ponder over keep the Lorien Reveal, keep the guaranteed second land, but I didn't have Lavinia at the time. I don't know. Rewarded for something there, at least for passing the force check, and then the deck helped me out on the Lavinia. Let's go. The official BoshNRoll Island Ponder Keep shirt is now available for pre-order through Coalesce Apparel and will release in early December. These will sell out and take time to restock. The holidays are coming up fast. Place your pre-orders for yourself and the BoshNRoll fans in your life today. Coalesce is the best Magic apparel on the market with awesome new designs coming out all the time. Use code BoshNRoll at checkout for 10% off your order at coalesceapparel.shop. I'm on the draw against Stryfo in what's sure to be a grindy match. Stryfo, friend of the show, has been on the channel before, loves 4-color Dak Faden soup decks. I found my land. That's great. That's the one thing that this hand was kind of missing. I don't think I need another Murktide Regent and another Questing Druid at this point. Though if I take a Murktide, that's a blue card. I'm not in a rush for any number of Murktides, though. Yeah, I'll just shuffle this. He's also a Wasteland deck that I am a little concerned about. Brainstorm, okay. Not going to force that. Another Trop, all right. Brainstorm into Trop. Okay, I'm just going to play my Trop, and I'm going to get my Beanstalk invested here. Got to start this party somewhere. Force pitching Brainstorm, clearing my Beanstalk, okay. Fair enough. A lot of respect, and he's probably right. Go over the Burn Willows. There's a third color. Uro. Luckily, this build has the white removal, so Uro is not a long-term problem. Bayou. All right, there's color number 4. I just always had it. I'm going to play Flooded Strand and pass my Questing Druid. I'm going to Seek a Beast in the end step here, but I'm holding up Hardcast Force and Negation if you jam some bullshit Planeswalker here. He is also a Orcish Bowmaster deck. Luckily, Seeking a Beast isn't drawing cards. Drowning in the Loch does counter this. Is this the fight I want to fight? I could lose my Murktide Regent over this. I think this is worth doing. Just 2 for 1 myself to 3 for 1. Forest, Murktide Regent. Okay. If he's got Graveyard Hate, he can see the Murktide pending here and mess me up, like cast an Endurance or something. Okay, Forest and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is, in fact, a Murktide Regent. If I fetch for Tundra, I guess I was supposed to Brainstorm first. I was about to say I can Swords to Plowshares a Orcish Bowmaster. Oh, but if I do that, I don't have double blue because of the Forest, right? Nope, was not there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I am leaving up white for the Plow. We see the Uro. We suspect Bowmaster. Fetching in the end step. Grabbing a Badlands and Assassin's Trophy. Just playing around days. Fair enough. And guess what I have in my deck? Basic lands. Do I want plains or island here? I think I want plains. I have lots of islands in play already. If I get the plains, I can't get wasted off any color. Well, red, but that's a fake color in my deck. I can't get wasted off white, which I care about the most. Found a Brainstorm here. Was at 1 card in hand, drew for turn. Brainstorm lets Uro escape if he's got a blue source, which he does. Here's the Uro that I'm going to plow before its trigger resolves. I could wait till my turn, play Questing Druid, plow. Questing Druid's bigger, but I don't want him to come up with Force Blue card here when I have the clean answer. Okay, Questing Druid, get in. Doing the thing now. I'm going to Brainstorm with my red source. I just have more green and white cards in my deck, though if I hit exactly Seek the Beast, I'm going to feel bad about this. Luckily, I did not hit exactly Seek the Beast. I'm going to hide Leyline Binding on top of my deck. This gives me a nice Force Blue card, and then I can shuffle if I want, or keep it if I want. 2 cards left in the hand over there. I am going to draw the Leyline Binding. I think just having more answers here is fine. P-Fire, that can be regrown. 1 card in the hand. If I Brainstorm here, and you have Bowmaster, I can hardcast Force. Yeah, I think this is a good Brainstorm. Because the Brainstorm at least saves Questing Druid from the 2 damage. No Bowmaster, good news. And a squeaky clean Brainstorm plus Shuffle here. And I'm still fetching in response, so he can't buy back Grove and hit Questing Druid again in response to my fetch. I'll double up on red in case I draw a Seek the Beast. Yeah, making big moves here on the Punishing Fire. This is the last time that this line is going to be effective. It is going to draw a Force out of me, though. Yep, that was the window to deal 4 to Questing Druid before it was too big to die in a single turn cycle to 1 Grove. If they come up with a second Grove, actually I could just daze the Punishing Fire, and then I have a 5/5 and it doesn't matter. Picking up the P-Fire. So if you have Lightning Bolt, you get me here. Big Dak Faden, alright. Now that Punishing Fire is just going to turn into actual useful cards. That's scary to me. Discarding Uro and Punishing Fire, busted. Brainstorming, leaving up Drown in the Loch or Assassin's Trophy mana, which I can currently daze. Heck yeah. Daze, pick up the Volk. Okay, yeah, just watching him tap one thing at a time, trying to get into the right spot for that was super refreshing. I was just gonna hold up or attack Dak and then Brainstorm, or Brainstorm and then decide what it's going to do about Uro, but I can just draw 3 cards here. That's awfully good. Yeah, I'm just going to draw 3 cards here. He's not a Daze deck. And I have a fetch land now. That is not better than the island, or the Volcanic Island. I get to both hide information and I can do the Brainstorm Lure and Reveal trick. I have Leyline Binding ready for this Uro. This Druid has done work and continues to just be an issue. It'll be bigger than Uro by the time we get to combat next turn. There it is. The big Titan. It had to eat the Punishing Fire to come in, though. That means he doesn't have a spell in his hand. I don't think he would just eat that. Alrighty. Now, interesting choice. Could have Bowmaster over there at this point. I think I lead on a Brainstorm, because then I can Leyline Bind a Bowmaster in response to the Brainstorm. If I Lure and Revealed, I'm kind of committed to doing that for the whole turn. Okay, something is happening. I guess if I lead on Murktide here, then Brainstorm, then they can't Drown in the Loch my Leyline Binding. But Drown in the Loch could also just kill Questing Druid. Okay, there's some weird pause on pause action for a minute there that then ceased. This deck has Besageu's in it, I think, so I gotta be careful with Leyline Binding. I believe Prismatic Ending to be better than that. Though more removal doesn't hurt. More cards don't hurt either. I would like to make a land drop. I don't really want to send any of these things away. Okay, I'll keep the second Binding and fetch. I'm gonna get another Tundra here. My white cards are just so important right now. And then blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just trying to play around Drown in the Loch if I can. I could Leyline Bind twice here. Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds better than Prismatic Ending, although I do like the Prismatic Ending a lot. I think being able to do two things here is going to be important. Auto-warring your own Uro. Okay. I could bind again in response. Yeah, I think that's worth doing. Take the Uro. Leyline Binding is thing your opponent controls, so I don't have to bring one of my own things here. And despite being at 28 life, is that on a 2-turn clock, because my creatures are fucking chonkers. Cool. Okay, Questing Druid. This card is pretty good. Veil of Summer is effective versus Drown in the Loch and Assassin's Trophy, which are the two primary removal spells in their deck. Hydroblast hits Dak. Pyroblast hits Uro and Dak. I do think I want at least one Surgical Extraction, but I'm not going to go crazy on that. Okay, I don't love Force of Will. They're going to have Pyroblast too. Daze, although it did find a target that game, mostly won't. You saw how many lands there were. I got really lucky that it took an extra Brainstorm to find that one Assassin's Trophy, rather than just having it. It might seem weird to board out Force of Will and board in Force of Negation, but with Punishing Fire, Life from the Loam, these are the things I'm mostly worried about. I have Swords to Plowshares and Leyline Binding to fight Orcish Bowmaster. Force of Will's not really how I want to interact with that. Maybe 3 is too many Force of Negations, though. Like, I want some. I want to be able to counteract the graveyard stuff. Up the Beanstalk is great. Uh-oh, running out of cuts here. The deck having Uro and Orcish Bowmasters in it, I'm not going to shave on Plows, even though they are a known creature deck, or known control deck that generally you can skip on Plows on. Shave a Lorien Revealed and a Prismatic Ending, maybe? Okay, I'm doing this. Maybe Prismatic Ending is better than Hydroblast, the second Hydroblast. Do I need 2 of those in the deck? I don't know. We'll see how this works. Got some lands and some spells here. Veil of Summer, love that. Just a bunch of 1-mana interaction things. Go over the Burn Willows over there. Just gonna draw go for a minute. I'm not ready for a Bowmaster right now. I could Veil and not take damage off of a Ponder, but I'm not just gonna walk into it. If there's an end-step Bowmaster, I'll Brainstorm in response. You're brainstorming. Okay, I'm gonna Brainstorm now while I'm not getting my bow mastered. Multiple Leyline Bindings, the Force of Negation. I want Force of Negation later when we get into that super late game, not necessarily now. And I have land drops to make. I'm going to send the Lorien Revealed back in, and I'd like to find that later. It's focusing on now, and we'll deal with later when later comes. I could have Pyroblasted this Brainstorm, but I think that's needlessly aggressive. Jack Maiden's in this deck, Uro's in this deck. Carpet of Flowers, yuck. That one's a freebie, pays for itself right now. Green in the pool. And there's Uro. We countered that on the way back in, not on the way out. And end step, I'm going to fetch for a Volcanic Island, and then I'll go to my turn. Hate how many islands I have to play here. I'm not going to Leyline Bind this carpet, which means I can ponder. Beans, Pyroblast, Lorien. Lorien I would like later. Beans I'm kind of into now. I'm into having it in my hand now. I'm not going to play it yet. I have Pyroblast and Veil to try to survive whatever onslaught comes my way this turn. Got 2 men off this carpet. Red in the pool. The One Ring. That card is tough to beat. I have Leyline Binding though. We've got a plan. End step. I'm going to fetch for green in the end step. Drawing a card in response. That's fine. And draw, and I could just pay 4 for Prismatic Ending here. I think the uncounterability of Leyline Binding is really good versus Drown in the Loch, and then I have Veil and Pyroblast to back it up. Yeah, I'm just going to fire in a Binding right now. I wish I could put the Beanstalk in, but we're not going to get that. Not if we want to protect our spell. Brainstorm happens. Still saving this Pyroblast for a big spell. Like this Uro that's face up in the graveyard. 4 cards in the graveyard right now, other than Uro. Dak Faden. If I counter this, they could play Uro. I can Prismatic Ending that next turn and let them just do their thing here. There's still Uro mana in the pool, bunch of cards discarded. Uro, Pyroblast this. Veil of Summer is ready to win a fight. Didn't need it. Okay. I have so many islands right now. Prismatic Ending on the deck. I'm going to tap out of green here to throw the scent off Veil of Summer. I can just fetch a different drop if I want to. The mana advantage is just absolutely crushing at this point, though. Oh, better Brainstorm in response to this Druid. Holy smokes. Pyroblast. I'm going to Veil here. Veil makes all your spells uncounterable, even if they're not blue or red, or blue or black spells coming after it. Okay, so Bowmaster comes in. It gets to ping me for 1. Veil resolves. Bowmaster can't target me anymore. It can target its army and just grow. Pyroblast does not counter Brainstorm. Brainstorm happens. 3 Bowmaster triggers. My hand is full of white cards now. This is exactly what I wanted. Okay. And I just F6 from here. 2 cards left in the hand on the other side. That was a big turn. 1 card left in the hand over there. In my upkeep, I'm going to Leyline Bind Sheoldred before it deals even 1 point of damage to me. Then I draw, fetch, get the other Tundra that was on top of my deck, allow the Bowmaster, and play up the Beanstalk, and hope their last card in hand isn't another Bowmaster. They do have a 5/5 that I got to figure out. Oh, sick. I could stop in their draw step. I don't actually need to fight over the Uros yet. They can't escape them. When they're threatening to put their 5th card in the graveyard is when I will get rid of these Uros. Okay, just politely declined the carpet trigger. I take 5. A Boseiju breaks this game open. Just unlocking the ring. 6 green in the pool. Hate that. Pernicious Deed, oh no. Yep. That would qualify as a Boseiju-esque effect. Oh, did they just do it for 2? Oh no, they did do it for 6. Okay. Yeah, they just had 1 million in the pool. That's how Carpet of Flowers works. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna Surgical Uro right now. Loam Fable. Just screenshot the deck so we know what we're working with for game 3. There's a Minsc and Boo in here. 2 Pernicious Deeds, 3 Bowmasters, 3 Drown, 3 Trophy, 3 Carpet. Okay, I've lost this game, but we have the info. Prismatic Ending come back in. If I know they're that deep on carpets, I'm gonna fight over that a little bit. Loam confirmed. Maybe Force Negation isn't where I want to be, though fighting over the Pernicious Deed is the only way I really have to beat it. Okay, I'm just going back in. Adding the second ending. And I forgot to cut something. 61 card special. I'll keep this hand. The Hydroblast good against Fable that we saw at the end of that game in their hand. Force of Negation, okay. I should do a Wasteland check. Oh, there don't appear to be any, actually. That's cool. Alright, I don't have to worry about Wasteland. That's good news. We're both just playing Draw Go. Refuse to do anything. Oh, I have a Beast I can seek now and protect it with Veil. I like that. Stuff's happening. End step crack. Just a little Brainstorm. I can't seek the Beast in response here because the end of my next turn is very soon. Those cards would just be gone. Okay, I'm going to start with Scalding Tarn because Mystery Enforce actually does get 2 basic lands in my deck. I can fetch Tundra and just leave up Veil, but I'm telegraphing it. I can accept that I might have to fetch another green source here to hide the Veil. I'd rather do it like that. Okay, it just hit Pyroblast and Source Plowshares, 2 reactive spells. Perfect. Exactly how you want that to go. Though that does mean I can cast Questing Druid and protect it with Pyroblast if I need to. Yeah, that was a pretty bad Questing Druid. I can also just cast Pyroblast. That's the one you're allowed to cast whenever you want. I can just Pyroblast their land. It won't do anything, but I can cast it. I think that's worse than having a mana open, though. Okay, now we're going to play chicken for a while. I'm going to attack. I have Swords of Plowshares and Veil of Summer. I'm not really worried about getting ambushed right now. And I am going to cycle nothing. Never mind. I'm going to pass. I have Force of Negation plus Veil or Hydroblast available. I would rather do that with my 4 mana than just hit a land drop. Also, my next land unlocks Lure and Revealed. Opponent's at 16. The Veil does not grow the Questing Beast. It's one of the few spells in the deck that doesn't. Fable, Hydroblast this all day, every day. And then I'll go to my turn. Up the Beanstalk, that's a good one. Also doesn't trigger the Beast, but it does get the deck running. Ponder triggers my Beast. I'm going to get Tundra here, cast the Ponder, go Beast mode. This is not even a Beast, it's a Druid. What am I saying? I'm clearly a fool. I don't know how anything works, but I'm going to keep saying words and attacking my opponent for damage. I kept the Ponder. I think 4 lands is enough to play this game on for now. I have Force plus Veil available right now. 8 cards in the hand over there. What I'm really worried about is a turn starting with Carpet of Flowers. Okay, I'm gonna fetch and Veil here. Drop Veil. I expect a fight back, like another trophy or a drown, which I will respond to with Force pitching. The Lorien Revealed is so close to being on, but I think Ponder into Murktide is just more gas in the tank. Alright, cool. That's a 4-4 right now. Ponder makes it 5-5. Oh, I can put Veil back in my hand right now. I should probably Murktide first. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I go blue, blue, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I get a Beanstalk trigger, I get a Murktide, and then I fetch for Mystic Sanctuary, put the Veil on top, which grows Murktide. And then I can Ponder and pick up the Veil. Questing Druid under it, I like that too. This is... Murktide's way too big to get Pernicious Deeded. However, something like Pyroblast is going to work here. Drown in the Lock is just off versus Murktide. It's still on versus Druid. But I have the Veil. They've seen the Veil. And we did it. Found the line. Cool, just 1 mana protection. Get your big idiots pumping. Questing Druid continues to impress me. Let's go. This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there. On the play versus a Yorion strat, I'm going to keep my hand that has a Beanstalk and multiple forces. I'm going to lead on the powerful Forest, go. I'm not going to cycle Lorien Revealed probably, but if this is Death and Taxes, the 3 basics are going to be good. Okay, it is not Death and Taxes. Oh, just all 3 basics are present in my hand already. Beanstalk. We're in there. Okay, let the games begin. Turn 2 Beans. 2 mana up. I smell a Bowmaster. But guess who has the Swords of Plowshares and had it the whole time and definitely didn't just draw it right now? It's me. Oh my goodness, they're fetching in response to a cantrip. What could this mean? What's going on? Black mana? What a twist. Okay, Bowmaster's in. I'm going to plow it. And awkwardly, okay, it's just gone. But I was going to say awkwardly, if they fight over my plow and I fight back with Force, they get to ping me again. Because Force is a card of the appropriate color. I'm going to put Scalding Tarn bottom, Beanstalk in the middle, and draw the Flooded Strand now. And I'm not going to shuffle. I end up with the Beanstalk in my hand before anything else happens anyway. I have my land drop lined up, so I'm not going to be cycling Lorien Revealed. And if they Thoughtseize me, they don't get to take my Beanstalk. Got some kind of, at least Esper going on over here. Could be some kind of Esper Vial adjacent thing, or just some soupy control deck that chose to fetch these 2 lands first. To be determined. Orc army is getting in. I'm drawing a Beanstalk for my turn, playing my land, and I am going to cast up the Beanstalk, and I will Force of Will an Orcish Bowmaster here. Probably pitching for some negation. Oh, is it Hull Breacher? Are they even bigger? They're fetching a 3rd land in response. That's spooky. A 4th color emerges. Intuition. Fascinating. I'm not going to fight over this. I'm just too curious. I hope they search for 3 Force of Wills, and then I just get to BTFO them. Hell yeah. 3 Force of Wills was the get. Oh wow, that wasn't the spot they're fighting over. Interesting. Okay, so they're going to try to Omni show me or something on their turn. That's cool. I will fetch my missing 4th color here in response to this draw trigger. I knew there was a land on top. Oh, they're probably a Lauren. Is that what's going on? Alright, well, I've got 2 forces. Yorion, Intuition, Aloran would be neat. It's not Aloran with this mana. It's the One Ring. Okay, if I force the One Ring, I draw 2 cards. And they're going to try to force back, and then I force again. It's going to cost me a bunch of cards, but my force being a redraw is the nuts. I think I start by pitching Murktide Regent, because I'd rather just cast Lauren Reveal next turn if they decide this isn't their fight. And if the expected thing ends up happening, then just all of this is the same. So I'm actually gonna let their force resolve, draw my 2 cards. Maybe I find a different blue card to pitch. No such luck. And then exile the ring. Alright, they're just like, yeah, you're good. My hand is just lands, and you have Yorion in the command zone, but okay. They've had enough. A Bowmaster ring soup strategy. I like Veil, and they have blue cards in their deck, including Intuition. I guess I'll put Pyroblast in. And I don't know about the rest of this stuff. These 4, I gotta survive the Bowmaster fight. I wonder if Intuition is doing anything more shady than getting 3 Force of Wills. I am gonna shave Force Negation 2 days. I'm gonna keep all my Force of Wills in, and do I think I need all these basics against this deck? Maybe. I'm thinking either Lorien Revealed or one of the basic lands. Those are the 2 last cards I'm looking at here. If I shave a basic, I have 19 lands plus 3 Loriens. And if I do that, I have 18 plus 4, or it's 19 plus 3. I think I'm going to shave a Lorien Revealed. Let's do it. Okay, another game that starts on Beanstalk, and then a bunch of ways to trigger it or do other stuff. We both kept 7. The difference is this game they're on the play, where they can Bowmaster my initial Beanstalk. Underground Sea, Ponder, okay. Basic land. I can use that to cast my Beanstalk next turn if I'm worried about it. Ooh, the perfect 4-color set. If I want to play around Bowmaster here, the line would be Seeking the Beast, and then Leyline Binding it. They do have Bowmaster. I don't have Dazes in my deck right now. I don't need to Seek the Beast in response. Bowmaster is here to party, in for 2. They're doing something for 3 mana. Uro. Okay. That one's fine. Maybe I Seek the Beast in response to the trigger. That way they can't, like, Flusterstorm it or whatever. Like, they're not making decisions here. All these things are just happening. Seeking the Beast. They also can't draw a Force of Will off this card. I did draw a Force of Will off my card. And a Brainstorm, Jesus. Oh, they hit a Wasteland. No! I mean, that sucks a lot because the Leyline Binding was going to remove Bowmaster, and then I can Brainstorm, but instead we're just not going to do any of that shit. Just going to die. Alright, well. And then I just played Tundra from my hand, which does not cast this green land, or green spell. I guess I just Seek the Beast again next turn. Yeah, I should have gotten Trop and played the Questing Druid here. But heckin' whoops. It's all good. It's all good. I can Seek additional beasts. Attacking for 2 again. Glad I didn't cut my basic lands. They just put Yorion in hand and missed a land drop. I will be Seeking the Beast in the end step. Oh, Force of Will. They don't like this at all. Force pitching the Yorion they just put in their hand. Cool. Handle that. Veil of Summer. I do like that card. I think I'm just going to fire Basic Forest in here and play the Questing Beast, or Questing Druid from my hand. Questing Beast. That's going to get me every time. I promise. Questing Druid. Get in there, big guy. Because that makes my fight over Orcish Bowmaster just grow the Druid. If they second Bowmaster right now, pick off my Druid for freezies, then they got me. Also a Beanstalk deck. Uh-oh. Now I have concerns. They have been kind enough to miss all their last land drops, but then they have Carpet of Flowers to just undo it. Alright, yeah, we're friggin' dead here. So dead. Those 4 spells locked in their hand just became all good ones. Leyline Binding, trigger Beanstalk. Okay, so we're in a similar space here. They did not attack, though. I like that. Okay, I also have Leyline Binding in my deck. I'll take this Bowmaster, please. And then I'll play up the Beanstalk and pass the turn. They're going to get Uro this turn. I have another binding for that. I could even Beanstalk, then bind, and draw a zillion cards. Just hoping that they just run out of gas here. You know a card never runs out of gas? The One Ring. They did choose to do that instead of playing Uro, though. That gives me some hope for the future. I'd love a green source right now. No such luck. If I Ponder first... Yeah, I'm going to start with Ponder. That still gives me Veil if they Bowmaster here. And Archetype Regent. You are very small. But I don't think that's necessarily bad. Okay, I will put the Tundra in my hand. And then play the Tundra. And Prismatic Ending the Carpet of Flowers. I have another ending on top of my deck. I'll work my way through this other troublesome permanence over the next couple turns. That's gone. And Beanstalk here draws the Murktide. Oh no. Fetching in response. It's not black mana though. It is Force of Negation. And me with only one green source. If only my Veil of Summer could have gone the distance there. Okay, coming up this turn, I have to deal with Uro and deal with the One Ring. The One Ring is more pressing than Uro, but they both kill me. Surgically my endings. Concede, concede, concede. Alright. Yeah, they were about to shuffle my deck and see my deck. One Ring. Do I want Force of Negations in to fight One Ring business? That's so bad against the Uro Bowmaster half of the deck, though. I have 6 answers to a resolved One Ring, plus 3 counterspells for it. I think I'm just going back in with the deck that I had. That Wasteland on that critical turn. I don't know how many Wastelands they're playing in their deck, but that one they found on that one turn completely flipped the game. As it tends to do against Leyline Binding decks. I will keep this. The Brainstorm moves cards around in a way I'm happy with. I like the Veil. Opponent went to 6. Drop Ponder. Ooh, I drew beans. I like those. Thinking about those beans. Now we don't need to Brainstorm, we can just get this going. I can force a Bowmaster if I need to. Not having white in his hand is a little stinky. Glad this wasn't a Wasteland. And they are passing the turn. Not suspicious at all. Oh, sick. Guess who has access to white mana? Yeah, I'm just going to cycle Lorien Revealed for a Tundra and not try to get cute on this Brainstorm. Play the Tundra and pass. They're fetching. They're orking. I think I just plow the orc. Or I could also bind it here, but then I'm not holding up Veil. And I would have to draw a card into it. I'm just going to plow it right now. I could Veil and they don't even get the 1/1, but that doesn't seem like a good use of that card. Land number 3. Carpet of Flowers. I will Weather the Storm for a turn. This is just the full Black Lotus ritual. But I am holding the ending, which is the perfect answer to this card. I will Force of Will and Veil of Summer to fight back over a One Ring. They get 3 mana here for a total of 5. Uro. Well, I'm fighting over that one. I'll fight over that one later. And hope that they don't have a Wasteland. Okay, no land at all. And there's a Ponder. Still hoping that there's no Wasteland. Oh, it's turn 3. They've already played their land. And the Uro missed, so cool. We're not getting wasted this turn. They chose to shuffle. My read on this is that they're hurting for lands right now. And Prismatic Ending is the sauce we're looking for. I could Brainstorm first. I would like to hit a land drop of my own. I could also Leyline Binding. But that being an instant, that getting the ring, that there's a lot of reasons to keep the binding around. I'm going to lead on Brainstorm. And I can Veil of Summer, a Flusterstorm, or Spell Pierce, so tapping my mana doesn't matter here. Okay, I'm gonna put back the other ending, and ooh, this is tricky now. I guess I'll just put Leyline Binding there. I want all these cards. I don't want to have to shuffle, basically, is the problem. So if I don't have to shuffle, or I don't want to shuffle, then I'll put the Druid on top, make sure I have Force backup, Force plus Veil going on here. That's gone. Okay, still Force plus Veil. I have Beans. They're missing land drops. They're shuffling Ponders. They're having a bad time over there. Cheating, cheating, cheating. That's okay. There is another Prismatic Ending on top of my deck. It's under the Beast, but I can seek into it. Or if I end up forcing or veiling this turn, I'll just have them both in my hand. 3 blue in the pool, put Yorion in hand. Okay. Strong. And it looks like they are just passing. They thought for a long time in their second main and then decided to pass. They're still thinking now. Pausing the end step. This feels like Bowmaster. They're just deciding when they want to deploy it. Okay. I'm drawing Seek the Beast, which I am just going to fire right now because I know the card that I want is under it. Red-green. Oh, I probably should have done red-white so I can veil if they fight this. Oh, because yeah, if I have to fetch, I lose the ending. Yikes. Okay, that was a little mistap. I was just thinking about if everything goes right, not if anything goes wrong. And if things go wrong, it's the same. Hydroblast. Yep, there I am. Here I am now, looking foolish, because the card that I want is on top of my deck, and I have tapped incorrectly. Now I have to Force of Will if I want the Prismatic Ending. I think I do still want it. And the good news is I don't even need this Force to resolve. I still draw the ending. But now I'm about to seek 2 cards I don't even care about. Okay, I mean, Basic Plains Brainstorm. We're getting the full sauce here. Basic Plains Brainstorm because it just has to be cast now or I lose it. Not because I think it's good. Pyroblast, another binding. I don't need this land, and I don't hate Pyroblast. This Veil of Summer has been chilling this whole time. Bindings beget more bindings. I have to ending right now. Okay, I think I'm going to put a binding back, Prismatic Ending right now, and I don't have to shuffle if we get to my next turn and I like the binding still. Okay, that's handled. They'll have to draw a land to present the Uro, which they've made it clear they don't have up to this point. Is this a Blood in the Water Brainstorm situation? I don't think so. I think with my Beanstalk, with my known removal spell on top, I'm not currently applying pressure. I would still rather Pyroblast this Uro than this Brainstorm, even though they have been struggling for a couple turns. They found their land drop. I will draw the Leyline Binding if nothing else happens in the meantime. Okay, cool. It was a land drop. It does cast Uro next turn, but it is not a fetch land. So whatever they are on the hook for, unless they Lorien reveal, they have to work through a Brainstorm lock here. Questing Druids on this deck. Time to start applying pressure. I've taken enough damage from this Orc army. No thanks. And passing the turn. From the position I'm in, I can grow my Questing Beast and draw a card, just at will. And then I can choose if I want to protect my Leyline Binding with Veil or Pyroblast. I have to commit to it before I tap my mana. Or no, you don't, because I can fetch either blue or green from the Misty. Alright, yeah, I just can do whatever I want here. Something's happening in the end step. Cosmic Rebirth, that's neat. They're putting a land into play and gaining 3 life. Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that. Thanks, Honorog. That's some Anzi D-Tech all day. Luckily, it's only targeting Flooded Strand. Let's see if they fetch here, or if they want to keep these Brainstorm cards. They are fetching. That was a clever solution to the no-fetch land problem, though a pretty underwhelming use of Cosmic Rebirth. Looks like they're finally making their move on Uro. I will be Pyroblasting this. Counter target spell, if it's blue, this qualifies. And they did it pre-combat, which means that their Orc army doesn't get to attack this turn. Allowing my Orc army in response, or my Druid in response. Sure. Alright, your Orc army does get to attack this turn. Uro's countered. I have access to Mystic Sanctuary here. I'm drawing a land. There's a Lorien revealed in my graveyard. We're going for it. Mystic Sanctuary, target Lorien revealed. This looks like a nice, tasty window to draw 4 cards. Give them to me. Found a force, found a bunch of cards, including a land that casts Veil of Summer. The force does not have a blue card to go with it, though. Noteworthy. They can shove Yorion here, but it's not even doing anything. It's just a 4/5. 4th Aerlingus. Well, that's doing something. Shit! Not having the blue card is lights out here. I was feeling fine until right now. Shit. Okay, we are in a ton of trouble all of a sudden. I was feeling like, how could this game go wrong? And this is the answer. Yikes. There's the blue card showing up. Alright. I'm gonna play in Up the Beanstalk. I need to put a creature into play, like yesterday. Leyline Binding. I'm just gonna start spewing this off to draw cards. There's a Murktide. Okay. Exile one of their horses, and then Murktide, blue. Just make this as big as it can get. I have Force Blue card that can draw a Force Blue card. And I have to discard 2 cards in this end step. It's probably just these beans. I'm always thinking about them, but if this game moves forward at all, I will have the Monarch. And if it doesn't move forward at all, I won't need to draw any more cards. I'm at 3 on board right now. Oh, that was a bad turn not to have a blue card. Oh, required to force this. Force pitching Brainstorm. And I don't have another blue card yet. Okay, we're back in. The One Ring. If they draw... Oh, they can't lose the Monarch if they have protection from everything. Okay, they can attack me to 1 right now. Nice. They are making their big move. And now I have to just turn it around and rally on them. From 24 life to 1. They're the Monarch. I'm a lowly peasant. I can remove all these creatures. I think I want to Seek the Beast, though. Okay, I'm going to Seek the Beast, because I want blockers. I don't want to have to remove every creature they play. Flooded Strand, not helpful. Second Murktide actually rips pretty hard here. Okay, I can go... Murktide goes blue, and I can still Plow Binding. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This grows the first Murktide and draws me 2 cards. I can also plow one of these if I think that me gaining a zillion life is worth more than trying to control the board. Oh, they Force a Willed. I love that. Pitching the Yorion. Veil of Summer. We've been sitting on it the whole damn game. I am actually very likely to plow my Murktide after it connects here. Attack for 13. I'm the Monarch. And I think gaining life here is better than trying to fight their spells. The question is, do I gain 8 and leave my lethal threat? Or do I gain more? I could go to 14 and have a blocker. Or I can go to 9, have no blocker. This fetch land gets Volcanic Island. Make sure that's not gone somehow. Nope. Okay. Now the fetch land is on because I'm going to plow the bigger one and leave the blocker back. And then I will go to my end step and draw a card. That was a big turn. Discard a bunch of fetch lands. Okay. I have Pyroblast for Uro. Ponder, you got it. That whole turn brought to you by Seeking the Beast before I did anything else. If you're going to draw cards in a turn, you should do it before you start making other decisions. They did not shuffle their Ponder. Leyline Binding. Unfortunately, I don't have a plan for that. I can get it back with my own Binding next turn, but for now, they're just going to get the Monarch back. I can do all sorts of Beast-related or Questing Druid-related activities next turn. Okay, you draw a card. I am actually going to fetch... This should have been in my upkeep, but I just wanted to make sure I didn't draw that red source, because I do want to fetch for it. Okie dokie, Swords to Plowshares is here. I don't have any haste creatures. I do have a Questing Druid that I can cast from exile. Green-blue. And then red-white, Seek the Beast. Now it's time to make bigger creatures than them. Murktide Regent and Force of Will. I like Murktide Regent, always have. Play my Tundra, Murktide Regent, blue, blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Grows the beast, draws 2 cards. I have a 3/3. It had force backup in the moment. And I think I'm just passing from here. Pyroblast Plow seems like the way to fight this fight. Mystic Sanctuary targeting Pyroblast. Bummer. If they can draw cards here. I hope they try to Uro into this, because I've been sitting on this Pyroblast the whole game. That's what it looks like is happening. Pyroblast the Uro, which means you don't draw your Pyroblast. They're plowing Murktide in response to that. Okay, sure. They gain a bunch of life, and your next draw does not kill the creature that's left. Oh, they draw the Pyroblast off the Monarch. But I am in commanding position now. I'm actually now more worried about decking than I am about them killing me. Okay, so I draw to 11 cards here. I play my Questing Druid, and then I Leyline Bind your Human Knight, and then I plow your Orc Army. Exile the Knight, plow the Army. Yeah, even taking the Monarch here gets me closer to decking. Distressing stuff. They're at 11, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, we're not near that yet. Okay. Attack you for 6. I get the Monarch. You go to 5. I go to 8 cards in my deck in my end step. I'm not going to fetch. There is still a basic island in my deck, but I'm not going to fetch and thin that out. I'll just go to my end step, and I can Leyline Binding, their Leyline Binding, getting my Murktide back next turn, which will take me to 6 cards in my deck. Then I draw, and I have 5 cards. They're at 5 life. Or Leyline Binding the Uro might be better than that. How many forces are left in my deck? 1, 2, 3, 4, 0. Okay. How many Pyroblasts are left? 0. How many Veil of Summers? Do I play 1 or 2 of those? That's not where I find that information. There is a Veil still in my deck. Okay. Interesting. I drew a Forest, and I'll discard a fetch land. Yeah, if they just like Supreme Verdict here, I don't think I can actually win the game in the time limits. Or in the deck limit. Lavinia. That does not affect anything that's happening. Okay, I'm gonna just go to my turn because I have lethal. I don't want them to suddenly get any action on a Bowmaster. Here's a Forest. If I brainstorm Leyline Binding, but that still turns on the I have concerns. All right, I'm gonna attack and Leyline Bind the Lavinia. I think this is my best chance to do this. It sucks if they have Bowmaster here, but I guess I can just bind that. They're spending 3 mana as Force of Negation. There will be 5 cards left in my deck when these beans resolve. Cosmic Rebirth targeting Uro. This is a lot of life. This is plus 6 life all of a sudden. Well, I mean, that happens. I can get to 11 here, though. These Questing Druids can do it. Mystic Sanctuary comes in off the Uro, targets 4th Air Lingus. Alright, well, the chips are down. One of us is dead this turn. And I currently have 7, 11. Yeah, I currently have you dead. 7, oh, yeah, plus 4 is 11. Okay, I don't need to do anything right now. And we did it. Got the GGs in the chat. That was a wild match. One for the record books. Let's keep this league rolling. If you're looking to run a CEDH or 1v1 tournament, Eminence Gaming has your back with Command Tower. With Command Tower's intuitive tournament manager dashboard, you can handle decklist submission and player management with just a few clicks. Players just need to scan the event's QR code for access to the full tournament bracket, including seamless pairings and real-time standing updates. Take the guesswork out of tournament organizing. Try Command Tower for your next event. I'm on the draw for round 4. Opponent says hi, YouTube. Everyone say hi to TJ Qfo. I'm going to keep this 1-land ponder hand because that's what I'm about. Has there ever been a more perfect hand? Just a full house of cantrips into a cantrip that's also a creature. Bayou Pass. This is the kind of sick shit that could Dark Ritual Oppo me and then I just concede. But I am not going to play around that when my hand needs to ponder to get where it wants to go. I expect that this is probably Storm, actually. And I'm going to pop this Force of Will in my hand with the land under it. I don't actually need Brainstorm number 4. We are set on that. Bayou Go is just such a weird play. Most Bayou decks would have an Elvish Reclaimer or something, a Green Sun Zenith for Dryad Arbor. Like, they do something on turn 1. It feels like a Stormy kind of line. Glimpse the unthinkable, holy smokes. Alright, we're against some mess. Any deck that would want to glimpse unthinkable itself, you counter that shit. This is probably Hogak, actually. Now I have some information to work with. What is my plan against Hogak? Stuffing the enablers never hurts. What's my best plan to do that? Probably Brainstorm into Ponder and just see the most cards this turn. Prismatic Ending does kill the Grave Crawlers and stuff. I don't think I want Brainstorm number 4, actually. And it's risky to put back the land. I'm about to Ponder, but I have to Ponder off of Volcanic Island so I can Seek the Beast next turn. And then it's between Ponder, Draw Step, Seek the Beast to find green mana. I think I can live with that. Alright. Never tell me the odds. I'm gonna fetch for Volcanic Island and cast Ponder. Okay. We have access to 2 different lands here. That I'm happy with all of it. I might just slam Murktide. Next turn, I'll put the land in my hand now. I did not find the Force. If they're able to have another setup card, it's probably going to work this time. Let's just hope that Glimpse the Unthinkable was irreplaceable to their plan. Just a little grist. And that card's really good against Murktide Regent. And they milled a Reanimate. Okay. Opponent's on some soup. It might not be Hogak, actually, but it's certainly some soup. Prismatic Ending, the grist, is just a clean little interaction here that takes all the existing pressure off. Grist is also their current engine, fueling their graveyard, and it's their answer to my Murktide that I kind of want to put into play and stay there. We're figuring this one out together. Oh no! They found one. Bowmasters Reanimate, another Grist, Troll of Khazad-dûm. Interesting. This is definitely not Hogak. Bug something or other. Bug graveyard cards. 2 Reanimates gone there. And I have Leyline Binding if they reanimate a Troll. Seeing this 2 black up has me a little shook, though. I would really like to deploy this Beanstalk right now, but Bowmasters confirmed to exist in the deck. And I could Beanstalk and then Brainstorm over top of it. Yeah, I think that's fine. Picking 1 from a possible Bowmaster is not a huge deal. But if they have it, the Brainstorm will draw it. This will draw it out so I can Brainstorm in peace. And my Brainstorm could even find a Daze. Look at this. Look at this. Scripted. Paid actors. Okay. I have to redraw one of these cards. I will sack the 2 Lorien Revealeds on top. Opponent pings me for 1, then they ping me for another 1, and then I play Tropical Island and pass the turn. And then I cycle Lorien Revealed for Tundra and mount my comeback. Opponent's got a Ponder. 2 cards left in hand, plus whatever this Ponder comes up with. They did not shuffle. Hate that for me. Reanimating Troll now is actually pretty scary. Oh no, they can Cephalid Coliseum me. Okay, they're still targeting themselves. Okay, good. They're not ready to go into kill mode yet. Coliseuming me would trigger Bowmaster 3 times, deal an extra 6 to me this turn. Burrow plus Prized Amalgam. Okay, the deck's coming together over there. I'm running out of time to figure this out. Taking 4 in combat, going to 9. And cycle for the Tundra, clearing the Lorien Revealed off the top of the deck. Tundra, Basic Forest. Okay. I can't imagine a universe where Basic Forest is better than Tundra to be in play this turn. I could imagine a universe. No. Alright, well, I will do things before decisions need to be made. I'm going to see more cards this turn. Not going to commit to anything yet. I need them to not have a second Bowmaster right now. There's 1 in the graveyard. I could Seek the Beast in response. Okay. They're forcing this. If I Seek the Beast in response, it has to hit actual Force of Will. which is not a great deal for me. I'm just going to let this happen. I go to 8, and then I'm going to Murktide, and then I'm going to go to 7, and then I'm just going to hope that there's 0 cards in hand can't beat Murktide Regent. Okay, I could still draw Swords to Plowshares this turn, so I will save my land drop. Okay, here we go. Going up the Beanstalk, taking another one. That fetch land represents Mystic Sanctuary. That can get Prismatic Ending. That can answer Uro. All right, we're definitely running out of time here. I hope they just cast Uro from the graveyard. If they find something better to do than that off the top, I'm over it. It is Uro. This is going to trigger Prized Amalgam. They are going to draw another card. They don't have good combat this turn. Oh wow, they're pushing. I am happy to take out this Orc army while I can. I can't go to 2. That was a pretty strong attack, actually. Recognizing that that's live and it's there. I'm going to get Mystic Sanctuary, pick up Prismatic Ending here. Also grows the Murktide, which I totally would have remembered in real life. And I think I seek the Beast first. I seek the Beast, see what happens here. Swords of Plowshares, Volcanic Island. Heck yeah. Okay. I start with Questing Druid. Just gotta get some creatures onto the board. Questing Druid, Swords to Plowshares, the Uro. Now I'm bigger than the Bowmaster and the Amalgam. And because I can't Prismatic Ending effectively this turn anyway, might as well just take the land drop I've been gifted. Okay. Hoping for the best here. Hope there's not Creeping Chills in this deck. I lose to those. Oh no. Cards are being cast. Reanimate Grist. No! That kills me. They sack their insect, kill Murktide. Oh, even better. I was about to say, if they do that, I go to 1 and trade with the... Or I eat the Bowmaster, go to 1 off the Amalgam. But they just had another creature in hand, and they have exactly lethal here. Or that's not true. I can chump block, and then hope that my deck strings together some heat from 2 life under a Bowmaster. Yep, okay. Have to block here, or I lose. I go to 2. They know I have Prismatic Ending. Okay, start with Prismatic Ending on Orcish Bowmaster, because this turn doesn't go anywhere with that card in play. And cast Ponder. Hope you didn't come up with another one of those. Using my red land. Oh, come on. Last card in hand's the other Bowmaster. Fine, fine, fine. Alright. Cool deck. How do I beat it? Surgical Extraction seems relevant. Veil of Summer is good. I don't think I want Force of Negation. Daze actually seems pretty good on the play. I'm bringing in all these cards. Do I need 3 Surgicals? That's so many. They are doing graveyard bullshit, though, but they're also doing Orc bullshit. If I have 3 Surgicals, do I need all these forces? If I can actually beat the graveyard, do I need to fight over the enablers? I think I'm going to shave Dazes after all. Force always triggers Beans. I'm happy with that. They're kind of a mid-range deck. Despite appearing to be a really busted deck like Dredge or Hogak, they are much more of just like a bug value pile. I did not get a good look at the graveyard on the way out, but I don't think there were wastelands. I'm going to shave basic forest and basic plains. 17 lands, 4 Lorians. Low and dirty against this deck. Let's try it. Cool. I'm going to keep. I can see more cards and continue play. That's what I need right now. Blooded Strand pass. Grief. Oh no. I'm getting scammed. Oh, Questing Druid's not long for this world. Yep, Druid's gone. That was clearly the only choice in this hand that made any sense. Surgical Extraction. I'm not mad to see that. They just saw my hand and didn't see Graveyard Hate in it. They could try to do something big this turn. Like if they cycle a troll here. But they did see Leyline Binding. You can't just cycle trolls into that. Another Underground Sea, and they're passing the turn. Okay, Orcish Bowmaster is back on the menu. I can bind it right away, but yeah, this hand went from hero to 0 very quickly when I couldn't draw 2 extra cards and put a threat into play. Brainstorm, yep. Wish I could punish, can't. I definitely feel in every Legacy deck that I play when it doesn't have Bowmaster in it. There's just so many spots where it's like, yeah, that would have killed you. And you just don't even... It's such a relief on the other side, too, knowing a deck doesn't have black mana, doesn't have Bowmaster. Palantir of Warthonk. Okay, well, I will be Leyline binding that for sure. White, green, bind this. Milling them and letting them draw cards are both bad deals. You know what else is a bad deal? Drawing this many lands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could just play 3/3 Murktide right now. Better than nothing. Let's go. Assassin's Trophy, and look what I've done. Look at what I've done. Here they are. And the one I left in, I just happened to draw this game. Awesome. This basic island could have just been a different land. Could have been a spell, even. What a controversial opinion that would be. All right, let me just try to Seek the Beast and get out of this. A Ponder straight into your Bowmaster, but I got to get something going. Yep. Yeah, crack your fetch land. What could this spell be? I can't even imagine. Oh my god. Orcish Bowmaster? Alright, Ponder, find me some gas. Like, this Bowmaster is fine. This is a beatable card if this Ponder cooperates at all. Found another Ponder. I think that's a shuffle. Send it away. Murktide Regent. Okay. I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, I can Murk here. It could happen. I'm going to get another Tundra. White is still the most important color here. Alright, 4/4 Murk. Trying to decide if I want to Surgical Extract Assassin's Trophy. Oh, it doesn't matter. They had Force of Will. Okay, I mean, they are Hellbent, but they do have Bowmaster in play. Seek the Beast just flips this game on its head. You can hardly tell that I boarded out 2 lands based on how deep the waters are in this flood. They got 3 in the pool. Prized Amalgam. Alright, yeah, that just doubled the clock. Went from a 4-turn clock to a 2-turn clock. Something good, please. Not that. Alright, we're dead. GG. Ran kind of bad there, but it wasn't just fully random. The grief took the Seek the Beast. My hand was based on seeing it 2 extra cards plus a threat. This grief basically got 3 cards out of my hand, and it really showed at the end there. Just a couple of lands and Orcish Bowmaster punishing my draw engine. Cool deck. On to the final round. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. I'm on the play against another Yorion in the final round. I will keep my hand. The Lorien revealed can unlock the Ponders, and this is basically an Island Ponder keep hand. What flavor of Yorion are we? Plain vanilla or kitchen sink? Those are the 2 flavors of Yorion. Looks like kitchen sink is the answer. They did not shuffle their Ponder. End step, I'm going to get a Volcanic Island, and I can curve into Seek the Beast here. My deck looking like a very different deck than it actually is here. Old Rug deck. It's not a Rug deck, but it's also not a Rug deck. Just notice my opponent has a Grolnok the Omnivore avatar, one of my favorite EDH cards. Oh dear, Seagate Reborn is not in normal decks. We got some sort of combo mess coming our way. Why would decks have that? Alright, there's a Force of Will. That's probably a brick. Up the Beanstalk pretty good, though. Okay, I'm going to cycle Lorien Revealed for Tundra. And then I'm going to play that Beanstalk in exile. I think that's the way to guarantee the most things go right this turn. Okay. Bummer losing the Force of Will after we are pretty sure they're a combo deck. Cycling Lorien Revealed my end step. They're getting a Tropical Island here. Very curious what's going on here. The One Ring. Well, I don't want to play against that card if I can avoid it. I will force them negation it. Misdirection. Okay. They're gonna end up with... Oh, is this some Tony Scapone bullshit? Yeah, probably. Like Yorion, Ring, PO, Paradoxical, or Paradox Engine, whatever. All the bones are here to be something like that. Days, where were you when I needed you? I can lead on Questing Druid. If it finds Leyline Binding but not a land, I'm gonna lose my mind. I can also just ponder and see what happens. I could invest in the Druid. start getting some damage on this board. If opponent's just hanging out at 20 life with a One Ring, this game's not going to last very long. It's really rough that the card I want to ponder into is white, but the card I want to cast if ponder fails is red, and I only have one of each. Mystic Sanctuary, if this was a fetch land, my life would be so easy right now. I'm going to ponder and try to spike the Leyline Binding, because that is the card in my deck that matters most. Brainstorm, that's going to see two things that... Okay, I am going to take this Brainstorm. It does not fix my issues here, but it does make my hand better. I can get rid of this Mystic Sanctuary, get rid of this basic Plains, and still Seek the Beast this turn. The Seek the Beast could spike Force of Will, but they've just untapped with the One Ring, and life is pain. Drawing 2 cards with the ring. Show and Tell. All of a sudden, here's this. I'm gonna Seek a Beast in response, see if I can fight over this somehow. Oh, look at that. 3 of a kind. And I want to see what their deck does, so I'm gonna let Show and Tell resolve without conceding. Put in this Island. And Omniscience. Yeah, you just add 20 cards to your deck, still just Show and Tell with Force back at me. Reasonable. Alright, I'll look at another 10 cards of the deck. Born Upon a Wind, Show and Tell, Up the Beanstalk, Veil of Summer, Dream Halls. Alright, cool. I'm good. I know what you're about. Alrighty, Pyroblast good. Veil of Summer is a little creepy versus Intuition, or Misdirection, because you're not countering the spell, you're just moving it around. Okay, Pyroblast, Force Negation, Veil, Lavinia, all for sure. Swords of Plowshares out. Daze, you hurt me, and I'm mad at you, you're out. Prismatic Ending can answer a One Ring that's resolved. My plans for a resolved Atraxa. I'm bringing in Pyroblasts. I'm cutting Plows. I just have to hope that doesn't happen. Okay, this is what I'm doing. Lavinia's stock is through the roof these days in Vintage and Legacy. If you are playing an Eternal Weekend and your deck could cast Lavinia profitably, maybe think about it. Okay, I'll keep this hand. I've got Pyroblast and Beast Seeking. Opponent also kept 7. I'm not going to Pyroblast a Ponder. We've seen Show and Tell in this deck. That's not my fight. No shuffle on the Ponder. Oh, my girl. I think it is better for me to Seek the Beast this turn and then try to Lavinia with Pyroblast backup next turn. Also, if they Show and Tell, I can just put in Lavinia and it bricks Omniscience, unless they have Emrakul. Oh, maybe I'm a wuss. Maybe this is great. Carpet of Flowers. My arch nemesis. I can never beat this card in my entire life. And I voided out my Prismatic Endings. Up the Beanstalk. Alright, I'm gonna Seek the Beast in response. Beast. Exiled 2 Murktide Regents. Well, those are not happening. Hopefully Lavinia just takes over this game. Tundra, Lavinia, with Force backup. Murktides, rotting in exile. Didn't need those to win the game. She's in there. If they have a land drop, they can still cast Show and Tell. It would be difficult to cast the One Ring this turn. They'd have to remove Lavinia and resolve the One Ring. Show and Tell, Pyroblast. Can't force this. They can force some Negation hardcast it. They can also Flusterstorm it. Guess I'm dead. Yeah, Show and Tell always farms Bant decks. That's just the thing. No matter what you do with your Bant deck, Show and Tell is going to be bad. No matter what they do with their Show and Tell too. Alright, I'll put in a Beanstalk, I guess. They have an Atraxa. Off their Atraxa, they kept Tropical Island, Show and Tell, and Solindy Vision. That's interesting because there was an Omniscience in the pile, and they didn't keep it. That was free to do. I wonder if that was a misclick or if, I don't know. I can Pyroblast Atraxa here, though. That's going to be sweet. Okay, so Scalding Tarn, fetch for Mystic Sanctuary, target Pyroblast, put it on top, play Questing Druid, brainstorm up my Pyroblast, Pyroblast. I can't do anything about any of this because I have Lavinia. Backup Lavinia, probably not helpful, but still probably better. Oh, land number 5 is actually huge here for Lorien Revealed. Okay, I will float Lavinia on top, Pyroblast this Atraxa, And attack for 2. We know they have a show and tell. We know they have a Lorien revealed. We know they have land number 4. We're certainly not safe here, but we survived the first wave. I'll take that as a W. I just keep piling islands into play, though, because my deck can't not do that. They have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana here. Lavinia, I think, only affects non-creatures on the first ability. Yep, so they could Yorion here, just draw multiple cards and put a big O into play. Does appear to be what's happening. Yes, indeed, there it is. So they draw 2 cards off of that. I'm drawing Lavinia and casting Lorien Revealed. That's my plan. They do have to go to cleanup. Ha, drew too many cards. Scoreboard. A fetch, Misty Rainforest. What land matters most? I guess, like, I have most of my colors set. Double white, though, if I bind into binding. Okay, I will actually get the Tundra. I could get Forest and try to mitigate Carpet of Flowers a little bit, but I think that ship has sailed. I'm just going to draw 4 cards and hope that one of them is Leyline Binding, because I can put that in off show and tell. Sick. All right, we're in there. And Questing Druid is bigger than Yorion starting next turn. Hoping for the best. They do have 10 mana, though. Oh, decline the Carpet activation. Oh, because they're going to go 15 mana in the second main. I'm very excited about this for them, but not for me. Yeah, they can just Lorien Revealed. And they've hit all their natural land drops, so Lavinia is not actually doing much here. He's turning off Force of Wills and stuff. They could just cast Omniscience, but that doesn't work through Lavinia. That's fine. Okay, here we go. Lorien Revealed, trigger a Beanstalk. 5 mana still in the pool, and 5 mana still untap. Nutrageous. This is a deck that would be piloted by someone with a Grolnok the Omnivore avatar, and that's a compliment. The One Ring, that sucks. For me, great for you. Activating the One Ring, they can tap Ancient Tomb without taking damage this turn because they have protection from everything. I cannot get in with my Questing Druid because they have protection from everything. I feel like Questing Druid should be able to summon the Questing Beast and punch through the One Ring. That's kind of his thing. Alright, Veil of Summer turns off Lavinia, so they can Omniscience this turn, which means I better put in Leyline Binding, and if they could go off over the top here, they still win. Born Upon a Win. Yep, and it can't be countered because of Veil, and they're going to be able to go off over the top of my binding. This is a sweet ending. Multiple pieces of technology to beat the Potent Hate card, and I'm excited about it. Beanstalk in response. This is cool. Cunning Wish. Alright, yeah, we're for sure dead now. Like, whatever it is. The problem was just solved. Yeah, Shared Summons can get Grizzlebrand and Emrakul, and it draws 2 cards because of the Beanstalks. Can they deck themselves? Is that possible? Is that my out? Alright, Emrakul attracts. So we're good, we're good, we're good. A positive record. Strong start to the league. Tough back end. I imagine that Show and Tell deck would be a nightmare all the time, and that Graveyard deck, that game was a little weird. I came up just a little short. They drew a very important card on an important turn, and I did not. Like, that one, I think, is okay to positive if we played it 100 times. I'm not going to worry about that. Show and Tell, nightmare, though. Especially that crazy multi-angled build that we just played against. Got a lot of cool Beanstalk mirror action. My main criticism of this deck is that Orcish Bowmaster kind of chews it up. And the best answer to a bad guy with an Orcish Bowmaster is a good guy with an Orcish Bowmaster. And we could, if we're going to be a 4-color soup anyway, we could just play our own Bowmasters. Like, give up on Questing Druid in red and go black. Then you get to be a Bowmaster deck. You got to figure out where your threats and card advantage are coming from. But I don't like that we don't have Wasteland. Wasteland's really good. Bowmaster's really good. Those are 2 of the best cards in the format, and we were just choosing not to play them with this version of the deck when we could play a very similar deck that does get to play both. I do love the white removal. I do love Leyline Binding plus up the Beanstalk. I don't love that I can't put Triumph of St. Catherine in this deck on Moto, because I would definitely have it in real life. But I do like this shell. I like these play patterns, and I think there's something here. Arain, thank you for asking me to play this. even though it's pretty different from what I'm planning in paper, it is close enough that I feel like these are useful reps. Everyone else, make sure to pre-order your BoshNRoll shirt from Coalesce. And while you're at it, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.